As crypto holders, we are all waiting for Bitcoin to become the new gold standard, fiat to be replaced, and us be rewarded with Lambos for boarding the crypto train early. The problem is there's a few things that actually need to be fixed before that can happen, so stick around and I'll tell you what they are. Hey guys, I'm Sprague. Before I go into criticizing crypto, I just want to clarify that I do believe that the future is crypto. The problem is that I think there is a lot of things that do actually need to be solved before cryptocurrencies will ever go mainstream. Now, I know this is just a video on crypto issues, but I do need to clarify I'm not a financial advisor, so don't take anything in this video as financial advice. And while I've got you here, if you enjoy the content, please do subscribe. So, getting into the first thing that crypto needs to fix is that right now it is just far too confusing. There are so many things that you need to know before you can even transfer, say, Bitcoin from one wallet to another wallet. And this comes from the fact that with anything technological, it is going to be confusing. And we are still in the early days of crypto. But the problem is that while people don't understand basic things like what a wallet actually is, or where their funds are stored, or why it's not okay to send a transaction with a super low fee, there's always going to be problems and people criticizing Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies in general. Now, you could make the argument that Bitcoin was never meant to be a day-to-day transactionary coin. It was meant to be a store of value, sort of like gold. The problem is that Bitcoin is spearheading the charge of cryptocurrencies in the mainstream news, which means that people's first taste of cryptocurrency will invariably be Bitcoin. Because the thing is, to use fiat currencies, there is no required knowledge. You know that, for example, a pound is a pound and a shop might take 10 of them to buy something. You don't actually need to know anything about money to use fiat currency. And this means that it's somewhat exclusionary, because it means that the only people that can actually use cryptocurrencies are the people willing to put the time in to learn. And for it to go truly mainstream, it needs to be accessible by anyone. This is why people are buying their Bitcoin on something like Robinhood. It's because that's where they buy their stocks and shares, and Bitcoin is an asset class to them. And so that's where they logically would go to buy it. And it's only us, the people who are very heavily involved in crypto, that understand that actually that's a really bad way of doing it. Now, this isn't to criticize those people who are buying Bitcoin through Robinhood. That's how they are getting hold of it. And the more people who get into Bitcoin and cryptocurrency in general, the better. That brings us on to the second problem, which is lack of insurance. Because we might be okay being responsible for our keys ourselves, but there's some people that cannot be trusted to hold their keys. Now, I'm sure that everyone has that relative that has forgotten their password, locked themselves out of an account. I mean, for me, it's my fiance. She is awful with passwords. So if people can't be trusted to keep their own passwords safe, what better chance do they have of keeping their crypto safe? And this ties back into the crypto is too confusing argument, because realistically, there shouldn't be such a high bar of entry for someone to just hold their money. And the thing is that right now, a lot of people don't even use two-factor, so it is literally as easy as password stealing to get their funds. Now, criticize banks all you want, but it's a lot harder to hack into someone's bank account than it is to break into a crypto exchange using a password. So you're probably thinking, well, why don't they use hardware wallets? But then this leads you to another point, which is that even hardware wallets are kind of confusing if you have no idea what you're doing. To use a hardware wallet, you need a basic understanding of how transactions work, how fees work, where you're actually sending it, how to use the device. Compare this to just receiving money from someone. They could just hand you a note and you now own that money. It's so much easier than crypto is. You've also got the problem if you're sending any transaction along the blockchain that a lot of wallets will actually let you set your own transaction fee. Now, for those of us that actually understand what transaction fee we need to set on things, that's fine. But for your everyday user, they're going to see set your transaction fee and they're going to set it as low as they can, because why would they want to pay more to send a transaction? But they probably won't realize that that's how you end up with a stuck transaction and end up having to do something far more complicated, like replaced by fee or child pays for parent. So now that brings me on to the next problem, which is that if you actually do want to go into the subreddit and ask for help with these things, or you want to speak with someone who's experienced with crypto, there is far too much elitism and shilling. So if someone was to come onto the subreddit, they're going to fall down two rabbit holes. Either someone is going to tell them that they're dumb for not knowing something that realistically, how could they have known? Or someone is going to say, that coin that you've just bought, that's gone. That's yesterday's news. Now you want to be holding this coin. This one's the next one to go to the moon. So if they fall into that first category, they're just going to end up feeling like the crypto community is wildly unhelpful and they're just going to leave and probably think nothing of it, or not ask the question and then make a mistake and lose their money. And if they're in that second category, then they're just likely to fall for a rug pull or a pyramid scheme coin that's got a super low volume just because a bunch of people have rushed into the subreddit talking about it. Now, the problem is that because a lot of the crypto market is actually driven by sentiment and by price predictions, see my video up here, it actually means that a lot of people do fall for these super low cap coins because they see it as a potential to get in on the ground floor of something. Now, I know it probably seems like I'm picking on Hoj a little bit here, but the followers of Hoj have been flooding the subreddit, just shilling the ever-loving out of that coin over the last few days. Hoj is one of these coins I'm talking about. It might go somewhere. I am not ruling out the possibility that one day Hoj might go somewhere. The problem is, it's not going to go there fast, and yet they are constantly pushing this coin and being like, it's going to the moon, it's going to the moon, get on, get on. And for people who are experienced with crypto, we will all sit here and go, oh, well, that's dumb. Why would you ever YOLO all your money into that? But think about how it looks for new investors when they come in and they see lots of posts talking about the same coin and how you should invest now. They might fall for that, which then just causes a lot of distrust in the scene. And unlike stocks and shares where a company has to be reputable and build up over time and go public, anyone can make a coin. In fact, because all of the contracts and the coins are open source, someone could literally just copy the code from another token and make it their own. And then you end up with what is basically a pyramid scheme, which is where these new gullible investors are pumping money into a coin so that the people who were there first can now cash out. And now the gullible investors are left holding bags that are worthless. The thing is, all of these problems are actually pretty easily solved. You just have to abstract the complexity away from using cryptocurrencies, and more people will come in because it will be more accessible. And when it becomes more accessible, the shills won't be able to have as much of an effect because there'll be more people talking about it and more people in the scene. It kind of becomes a strength by numbers sort of situation where the more people there are telling you it's a bad idea to do something, the less likely you are to make that bad decision. And the final thing is that we need to just accept that for some people, holding their own keys is actually a pretty bad thing. I mean, some of the exchanges now actually have insurance. Places like Celsius and BlockFi are backed up by custodians who say they will replace funds if anything happens. For those sorts of people, is it actually more beneficial for them to hold their own keys? Or is it better for the general crypto community that some people don't end up learning all of these things? Because if we keep deterring people from jumping in and holding it on an exchange, and we keep telling people, oh, that's really bad, you have to put it on a wallet, your £100 worth of Bitcoin, get it on a hardware wallet right now, it's just going to scare people off. If people think it's that easy to lose their money, they won't put money in it. Why would they when they could just go for nice, safe stocks and shares? Okay, yeah, the returns in crypto are bigger, but there's a much higher chance of losing their money if we keep scaring them off. So now that I've gone over all of the reasons why I don't think crypto can go mainstream right now and spread a ton of FUD, if you've got any counterpoints, please leave them in the comments below. Or if you agree with me, leave them in the comments below. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a like. And if you want to see future content, please subscribe. Thanks. Bye.